Okay, next we're going to run a simple ELT example using DuckDB in Python. ELT stands for extract, load, and transform. We'll start by loading our CSV into a local DuckDB table. Then we'll apply some transformations. First, cleaning up the complaint type column by making it lowercase, then normalizing the column names so they're easier to work with in SQL. Next, we'll add a new column called closed in days to calculate how long each request was open. And finally, we'll run a quick check to make sure our changes look correct. And that gives us a clean structure table that's ready for analysis and shows how simple it is to combine SQL and Python for ELT with DuckDB. Now, before we go into the code, I want to quickly show you the problems that we have with this dataset. One of the things that is annoying here is that when you look at the names of the columns, you are going to see here that they are called unique and then a space and key created space date. So these names are very annoying to work with, because when you then run your script actually, and we have done this before, then you need to always address the columns this way. And this is annoying. You just want to have a variable. So we're going to replace this with a underscore. And maybe also make this lowercase, right? Because uppercase is not good. That's one of the things that we are struggling with here. The other thing is because when you look at the data, when you look at the actual elevator complaint types, then you're going to see that there is a complaint type that is called elevator, so uppercase and then elevator, and the other one is completely uppercase, and that is like, we just want everything in one, right? So we want to lowercase everything, because then these count as one. Also, when we look at the data, now we have a created date here and we have a closed date. Now for me, as someone who is looking for jobs and looking for, is this might be a big problem or is this a small problem, and see how fast the competition is, I want to have another column here that is called closed in days, because then I can clearly see how long did this take to fix this problem. So that's what we're doing with our ELT script in Python. So let's get to that script. Okay, to do that, we need to do a bit of stuff. First of all, it's in the for2 ELT Python script. So first, we're going to create a new connection. We call this ELT DuckDB. And this will be our new database. And then we're going to first start loading the data here. Create or replace table service requests as select star from read CSV auto here from our file. Then we're going to transform this. And what we're going to do is we're going to lowercase our complaint type. Then we're going to fix the column names, and that is a bit of a tricky thing. So we're going to select from the schema, and then we're going to modify, basically, or normalize the column names and add the underscore, and then alter the table for each column. So it's a step-by-step process that we need to do. And we're going to verify this. And then we're going to add our new column called closed in days here, and then we're going to populate it. And it's just a simple here date diff day from the created date and the closed date. And then we're going to verify it and see it here in the results. But before we execute this, we need to install pandas for this, because below here we're using actually the fetchdf function, and that is requiring us to use pandas. So we're doing a pip install pandas. It's also going to install us numpy. Successfully installed numpy and pandas, and then we're going to execute this here. By the way, if you're running into a problem with pandas that it doesn't find pandas, you can do an import pandas here, and if you're then getting an error with C types that these are missing, I have the quick fix here for you so you can fix it. So let's execute this. We're running this. Make this bigger. Now here we can see each line when it was executing the alter table statement, where it turns unique key into unique underscore key or created date into created underscore date. And then we also showed this and run a query here, this one, table info. So we have now the exact result of what we've done. And this looks good, I would say. Looks fine. And then afterwards, we were creating the closed in days table, and we're then populating it, and we're selecting 10 rows, and these are our 10 rows here. So sometimes 2 days, sometimes 149 days. And does that make sense? We can check this here. December 31st to January 2nd, 2 days. Okay. So how does that look now in the database with the uppercase and lowercase for the elevator requests? Let's open up our new database, our ELT DuckDB database that we just created, and then let's run our new select statement that uses the complaint underscore type here to make this simpler and uses the clean requests table. And as we can see, there's only elevator complaint types that are completely lowercase, which is perfect. That is exactly what we wanted. So there's no mess up on the types anymore. Well done.